Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to 20somethings TV. Tonight I am joined by Michael, Elvis, and Brendan. We got a couple good topics to discuss tonight. I'm your host, Jake, and let's get into it. And we lost Brendan. There he is. All right. A little glitch there. So, let's start with some international news. Tonight we are going to be talking about Peng Shuai, is a 30-year-old tennis phenomenon who gained popularity by speaking out against the Chinese government, including allegations of sexual assault. So sexual assault in sports is something not unheard of. Recently, we heard about all of the trial they went on with the women's gymnastics team from the Olympics, and so that's not something that's uncommon in the sports world. So I just want to hear your guys' opinions. What do you think about this whole thing that's been going on? Especially, Chinese government is pretty tough on things like this. So I imagine that it was a relief to hear that she was safe.
I think one of the interesting things about this was she made this accusation and then she vanished for weeks. And just as quickly as she vanished, she appeared. I mean, I think it was just yesterday. It was either yesterday or the day before that she was spotted, and she's like back in the public eye, like nothing happened, not really talking about it. No one's really saying anything, which I mean is good because it means she's safe, but it makes you wonder what happened. Where did she go, in those few weeks, and why she had to vanish like that? It's kind of sad.
Right.
Speaking up for yourself, and then when you have a government like the Chinese government, you have to just poof disappear because you're worried for your own well-being.
Yeah, I completely agree. What do you think, Brendan? Because sports, we have that all over the world, and the Chinese government cracking down on a sports player. What do you think?
Yeah, so we've talked about the Olympic Committee before, and it's a little shady. It's definitely a little scary, and as Michael alluded to, it's kind of crazy how she just turned up like that. But I think that was really interesting was how the social media, you saw other tennis players, for example, Serena Williams. She posted something about her, and I just think that social media really, in a way, I think, kind of alluded to and kind of brought this to light in a way. You guys may disagree, but I definitely think that social media played a huge part in all of this.
No, I agree with you, Brendan. I think if it weren't for social media and very prominent athletes and famous people speaking out, I feel like we wouldn't have seen. I feel like we wouldn't have seen her as soon. Elvis, what do you think about the outcry of social media from popular tennis players such as Serena Williams? Do you think that was a good thing? Do you think what do you think?
Honestly, to be honest, for the initial to correlate it with my answer for the initial response, I think that I'm not surprised, but it is important that the tennis players do speak out about sexual harassment because it's something that is not to be allowed in any varies, no matter what age group you are. I don't think that she was like hushed or like coerced to be quiet or anything. I just felt like she needed a break from the public's eye and kind of just took a break off of social media after coming out and just starting to be that voice for other people that want to start coming out of the shadows. But as someone as big as Serena talking about it, I would say it does more good than bad because of her big following and her being a tennis player as well. I believe she should at least put some positive not spark, but at least some kind of public eye on a broader spectrum so more people could investigate and really look into the start of the cause and really nail down on what's going on. It's been happening and it just needs to be handled. Really,
I agree. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad that she's okay. And sexual assault in sports is a huge problem, especially in the Olympics. So good. I'm glad that she's okay. Glad that people are speaking out about it. And our next topic, it's Thanksgiving this week. A lot of people are going to be traveling. It looks like Brendan has traveled away from his sophomore slum to what looks to be an actual home. And if you're traveling this week in certain parts of the country, you may be facing some delays from your airline because we're going to be having a little bit of a Thanksgiving storm. And I think we got I think we have a video to show just about the forecast and the area that's going to be in. So let's watch that.
Some good news. Through most of the weekend, much of the nation is pretty clear. Aside from lake effect snow zones, which is where we start this morning, Cleveland, the roads are already covered in snow. And then you've got different parts of Ohio where the snow is yet flying. The plows are out. So if you are in some of these spots in Michigan or western Pennsylvania, certainly western New York will have a little bit here in the coming days. But it's really Sunday night through Wednesday when most people travel that this low attacks. It's a cold front for the most part. Most folks will see rain and wind, but higher elevations see some snow, and I think we could see, especially Sunday through Tuesday, some delays at the airports that you see highlighted there from Detroit to Boston and New York. It depends on how long that sticks around, and of course, you know we will be tracking it throughout the week. Cecilia.
That was a funky looking video. But who's traveling this week? I know Brendan's traveled. Anyone going home? Elvis, where are you going home to, Elvis?
I'm going to Connecticut to see the family a few states over. I'm honestly not surprised. I feel like this fall season has been overextended in the warmer temperature, and I feel like it's not a coincidence that it's falling on the Thanksgiving in Black Friday break, but I do find it interesting that these airlines, they're like delaying so much, and I'm not sure if there's any like employee shortages that's causing the delays or cancellation of flights. But weather-wise, I'm not surprised that like Ohio or upstate New York is about to get some snow. Honestly, I've been waiting for it. I want to see how this turns out. Really, everyone stay safe though. Nothing but safety and peace and love into your houses and families. But I'm expecting it. I'm ready to see how it comes out.
Yeah, some nice cold weather where it belongs.
I don't really know much about the whole weather aspect, but I never really travel for any holiday. My whole family's here in Rhode Island. I never have a reason to go anywhere. But after Thanksgiving on Thursday, I'll be spending it here. I'm going to take the train down to New York to see my girlfriend. She goes to URI, but she went home to see her family. And then we're going to the city, and we're going to come back together in the car on Sunday. But I never realized how expensive it was to travel around the holiday time. I bought an Amtrak ticket from here to New Rochelle. It was like $128 one way. That's insane. I never knew that things could be that expensive. I don't know. Is it always like that when people travel in the holiday times? Is everything jacked up? I'm imagining, yes, right?
Yeah, especially if you're going to New York. It's not going to be a cheap ticket, I can tell you that much.
I usually drive, but I thought I'd, do something a little different this time, and I don't know if I want to do that again.
Yeah, doesn't look like you're going to be doing that again, my friend.
No,
So,
so I get the scenic route, though. I want a window seat.
Yeah. Brennan, where'd you go? Where'd you go home? Where are you out?
I live in Massachusetts. I live in South Shore, so it wasn't too bad of a drive. But controversial topic. Do you think Ginger Z, who is does GMA, do you think she's the best weather person? I don't even know what they're called. Meteorologist.
Meteorologist.
I think she's by far the best. She is on another tier.
On another tier. I don't watch GMA too often, so I don't have an opinion on that. But she seems, other than the weird sputtering of video, I think she was a solid meteorologist. I'd say.
What about my guy Al Roker?
Al Roker is number one.
Oh, I love that guy.
Al Roker's number one.
She's so good. I love her. She's so good.
I can't. You can't beat Al Roker. I'm sorry. You just can't.
No way.
Top 10 though. Top 10.
But regards to
No, he won't.
regards to traveling, I can't believe that the prices are, like you said, huge. My sister goes to the University of Michigan, and yeah, when she comes home, I gotta hear about it because it's insane, these tickets and the prices, and yeah, I feel like we should get past this by now.
Yeah, Brandon, we got a Facebook comment who's asking, who's your favorite newscaster ever?
Ooh, my favorite newscaster ever. Good question. I like the guy who used to be on SportsCenter. What is his name? Josh McDaniels or something like that. I liked him a lot. But I would say my favorite. Does Oprah count? I would say Oprah.
I think Oprah's overrated, honestly. I don't know.
No way.
I love her. Yeah, I did get a haircut. Thank you for noticing. I love her, but something about her lately, not like back in the day, but when I'm watching her now, like I watched her introduce Adele at that concert last weekend. I don't know. Something just makes you kind of want to just like
vibes are off.
A newscaster, which I don't even know why I said that, but I don't know. I really like her.
Lee's flying this year. It's probably a good idea, honestly. I remember Lee, I know you're watching right now. I remember, I think this was last year, didn't you take like you drove from your home in Charleston, I'm sorry, all the way up to Kingston, Rhode Island? You did that last year, right? I don't know if there's a time buffer, but
We're gonna have a
I think
week for that.
wait, okay, that's fine. She'll get back to us maybe in class, but I know that she drove one year. I think at the beginning of the school year, she just drove all the way up.
Even
Going down
driving,
or something.
the traffic's insane. Last Friday, I imagine that people were starting to come home for the break, wherever they're coming from. I was driving back from work, which usually from Cranston to Narragansett, it usually takes me like a little over 30 minutes. It took me an hour and a half to get home. The roads have been packed lately.
It's because everyone's traveling now and everyone doesn't know how to act, typical Rhode Island.
It's been 2 years since people have really gotten together. That's what they're saying. We're kind of getting somewhat normal times. I mean,
I think we'll be now that Lee's here.
Hello.
Lee.
This
What's
is just
up?
a quick little aside. I did drive. So the drive from Narragansett to Charleston is usually like 16-ish hours with traffic. And last year I did it. I've done it a few times in a day, but last year was the first time I did it. Just like cold turkey. Five energy drinks later. And I was back in Rhode Island. So I woke up. I usually wake up about like 3 or 4 and I start my drive. I don't get here until like 7 or 8 at night.
Wow, that's impressive. I could never do that.
But this year, I was like, the reason I've been flying so much, driving so much because COVID. I just didn't want to deal with that whole airport mess.
Right, it's not safe.
But also, like now that gas prices are so crazy, and I'm only going to be home for a week, I was like, I'll fly.
It's probably cheaper, honestly.
Yep.
Especially depending on the kind of car you drive. You have a gas.
I drive a Jeep, so that's not.
Yeah, no, it's probably cheaper to fly like 6 times in a row than it is to even get like a gallon of gas these days. But
thank you for letting me invade the stream. I wanted to contribute.
Of course. Great to have you. See you soon. All right. Thanksgiving traveling. I'm just going home to Warwick. 40-minute drive at night. So I'll be back. I'll be back there on tomorrow night.
It takes me 40 minutes to get to Warwick. It takes me 35 to get to Barrington.
On a bad day. I should leave now. Yeah, I'd love that. But I got work tomorrow at Stop and Shop where I have to deal with returns all day long. But
returning this like oat milk eggnog thing.
Yeah, oat milk eggnog. I'll return it. $2.99, $3.99. Who cares? Get your money back. All right. So our last topic for tonight is a little scary. In Atlanta, Georgia, there was at an airport, a convicted felon who was on I don't know if it was probation or what his deal was. He had a gun in his luggage, and as he was being checked out by TSA, he ran towards the bag to get the gun and unloaded it in the airport. I don't believe anyone was hurt. I don't believe the agent was hurt, and he wasn't hurt. But we do have a video about it, so let's take a look at that real quick.
Authorities tell us that the suspect involved in today's early accidental shooting has an active warrant out for his arrest, and he's also a convicted felon. We're told that this all unfolded at this main security checkpoint right behind me. Right now, much calmer scene, as you mentioned, Hope, than earlier. We were seeing quite a few lines going past the security checkpoint, but police tell us that the TSA agent began a search on a bag around 1:30 p.m. after noticing a prohibited item inside during the x-ray. Airport officials say the agent told the passenger not to touch the bag, but at some point they say 42-year-old Kenny Wells lunged towards the bag, causing a gun inside to accidentally discharge. They say Wells ran with the gun out of an airport exit.
So, guys, what do you think? Another gun story in the news. It looks like there were about 3 people injured. So, what do we think?
How do you
play stupid games, win stupid prizes? That's it right there. Why? Like, what were you expecting going through TSA with the lethal weapon? You're gonna get through the K9? You're not even gonna get through the K9 dog, bro. What makes you think you're gonna get through a metal detector with the lethal weapon, and then you lunge for it and let it off, hitting 3 people, causing chaos in one of the most busiest times of the airport's history? Like, it's just ridiculous in my opinion. It's terrible.
I agree with your opinion, Elvis. I don't know how you can even justify that in your mind. It's like I'm gonna go to this location that is so heavily guarded with TSA and police and anyone else at any given moment with a gun, with a warrant out for my arrest, and I'm also a convicted felon. and I'm gonna breeze by security. I'm gonna get through all the checkpoints, and nothing's gonna happen. Yeah, great idea. I'm just gonna hide this pistol right underneath underneath my coat. Yeah, the metal detectors won't get that. I'm a genius.
So many families too, so many children probably in the airport, traveling. Yeah, just stupid. Not
Busy
fun.
airport, busy time. Like Elvis wins stupid prizes, It's just stupid. Every day is just more stupidity. What are you gonna do? So I guess, moral of that story, be careful when you're traveling, and definitely don't bring weapons with you to the airport. Even if you're a convicted felon. Guess what? You know what you do? Fly first, then get your weapon. Don't bring it with you. It's a pistol. Just get another one. Who cares? Let's go to Walmart. There's like a million of them there.
To Stop and Shop carry any?
Unfortunately, no. We got rid of that department many years ago, probably. Maybe if they expand to the south, they'll get some. Can I have a discount on Stop and Shop produce? Well, that depends on what sales are going on, my friend, but maybe we can swing something for you. Who's returning some eggnog? Lee, it's got to be you. The only person in the whole world who'd ever return oat milk eggnog or whatever it was.
Who's the worst person that you've ever come across while working there?
I have a story. I have a recent story too. So this was, I believe it was last Thursday. Yeah, it was last Thursday. So it was last week. A customer was going through a lot. So I'm at the service desk, but right in front of me at this Stop and Shop, all the registers are right in front of me. And so she comes through the line and she's just like, look around. And she's like, where are the paper bags? And I'm like, oh, they're usually underneath registers. I didn't know if like she had already asked the person on the register if they had any. I was like, that's fine. I'll go grab you some. So I went looking for them, like, a good employee and a good person. And I found a stack of them underneath the register pretty close. Like, okay, here's a stack. This looks like enough. Here you go. And then she's like, oh, what? All these plastic bags here, they get in the ocean, right? And I'm like, yeah, obviously, but I can't do anything about it. And she's like, why do you still have plastic bags? Belmont has only paper bags. I'm like, well, Belmont is in Wakefield, and they got rid of plastic bags. We were in Narragansett. We did not get rid of plastic bags. I know it's hard to think about that because it's so close, but we are indeed in Narragansett. And then she starts going off on whoever's on the register, and I ignore it, and I go back into my little booth and stop paying attention. I'm just like, oh, another Karen, whatever. So then she walks up to me and she goes, hi, I need you to do something for her. Like, okay, yeah, what's up? She goes, I want you to take off all the plastic bags that are on the registers. I want you to replace them with paper bags on each and every single register. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. And she's like, well, why not? I'm like, well, those holders are for plastic bags, not paper bags. I can't just put them there. They're not meant to be there. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna do it. And she's like, no, you don't want to do it, but you can do it. And I'm like, no, I can't do it. And then she goes, where's your manager? And I'm go, oh, he's right over there. He was standing in an aisle. He's right over there, aisle like 10 or whatever. Go talk to him. He's like, oh, what's your name? I'm like, my name tag. My name's Jake. They're like, okay, I'm gonna put you on the Narragansett town website and say that you're contributing to the trash in the ocean. I'm like, go ahead. I don't care. I have no control over anything whatsoever. Do it. I dare you. I said that. I said, I dare you.
Is anyone in that Narragansett page here other than me?
Are you in it? You'll see my name. You'll see my name probably.
Well, it's like our town, Narragansett.
Yeah, Narragansett.
I'm not going to
see my
name
name.
person, but there's one person in that Facebook group that posts more goddamn posts than anyone on this face of the earth, and all I want to do is remove myself from the group because this one person posts too much.
Might be her, honestly.
I'm not going to name the name, but I think some of us could figure that out.
I mean, I can't because I'm not in that group, thank God. But that was a recent one. I've had some wacky people. Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, I have no power over that. I'm like, no one in this entire building has any power over that. If you want that, you can go to the Narragansett Town Council. You can have them try and get rid of plastic bags. But other than that, I'm like, I don't even live here. I'm from Warwick. I'm just here for school. So Yeah, that was my most recent Karen interaction, but most people are actually kind of nice. They're nicer than Warwick, honestly, or Warwick/West Warwick. So, yeah, the town council they got a lot on their plate now with plastic bags. What are you gonna do? So yeah, that was my little spiel about Karen's and Stop and Shop. But that's all we got for you guys tonight. So happy Thanksgiving from 20somethings TV. It's been great talking with you guys, and we'll see you next week. Happy holidays.